Hello, Drunkduckers. This is the Drunkduck Quackcast. I'm Ocean, and with me is Tance and Baines. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, sexy theme song. Our Quackcast music for today, which is the theme song. All right, so after that, we're talking about our topic, which is thirst traps, thirsty traps. So that's like you have a dry little hole and you make someone fall into it and you don't give them any water. No. It's a zillennial term for attracting someone by manipulating their baser instincts. And that's it, basically. You manipulate their lustiness, using a thirst trap, which is an image of someone being sexy in order to advertise to them in some way, or, attract their attention. Not necessarily to advertise, but, to get to manipulate them in order to draw them in to the thirst traps. So we're going to talk about that in relation to comics. First, we've got to bring up a feature, though. The feature this week was A Lunatic's Tale. So, I'm going to tell you about Lunatic's Tale now. Hello, I'm Ocean, and my feature for the week was A Lunatic's Tale. Riley Zink and Flink darts and smuggle themselves to the crazy sea plateau island of Mercia in an airship and immediately find themselves in the middle of a dastardly mystery. A senator is killed right in front of Riley by having a vending machine squish him flat. By a series of mishaps, they end up finding themselves tasked with being the new bodyguards for Maya, a strange girl with magical powers. And that leads to yet further adventures. A Lunatic's Tale features fully coloured digital art with a very refined style and lovely use of colour. The story is action-adventure comedy with magic, mystery, and murder. Very pretty coloured comic with very distinctive-looking characters with quite crazy lunatic hair and very sharp, pointy noses. This is a very exciting looking comic. It was featured, an earlier incarnation of the comic was featured in a long distant past, like 13 years ago, but that wasn't this version of the comic. That was this is a reboot. So it hasn't been featured twice. That's like a different earlier version. This is a newer version. And like I say, 13 years ago, so long time in the past there. So anyway, read A Lunatic's Tale by Bekeep, and it's rated T for teen. That was our featured comic, A Lunatic's Tale. Okay, so after The Lunatic's Tale, we have our featured music this week, which was Pep Squad. So Gunwallace is still sick. He wasn't able to do a new piece of music. So I went through our massive archive of all the music and I picked something sexy. So I picked Pep Squad. These girls are here to get you motivated. You can almost see the dance routine in your mind's eye, and believe me, it's pretty sexy. They've got some moves. The crowd roars as the Pep Squad performs, bumping, grinding, and sliding on stage. So take it away, Gummalls, with your theme to Pep Squad. That was the music. Okay, hope you enjoyed that sexy little tune. The theme to Pep Squad, a comic by Dave Meyer, and it's rated E for everyone. Alright, so now we're talking about thirst traps. So what are thirst traps? Well, it's, as I said before, this is a zillennial, slang for a sexy image that's meant to attract you towards something for some reason. Could be for any reason or whatever. A classic example, someone puts up a sexy photo in order to attract you to their OnlyFans. Or whatever. Alright, but when the way we're talking about it is in comics, especially Drunkduck comics. Okay, so many years ago, in the mists of far time, there was a comic called Craving Control, where this genius creator created this comic all about this woman who would she was a very sexy, very well endowed woman with big chest and tight clothes, and she would she would be compelled to eat. She'd just go, oh my god, eat. She'd love to eat, and it would make her incredibly fat very quickly, like a big pregnant stomach sort of fatness. And then she would get very skinny very, very quickly, sort of in the course of over an hour or something like that. And that was just this guy's thing. And it attracted an enormous fan base. Like, everyone loved this on the site. It was amazing. But he had this thumbnail that showed her with her gigantic cleavage. And basically, he rose through the top 10 very quickly, and this comic was always shown on the front page, and all us comic creators saw this and thought it must be that thumbnail that did it, and it was basically a thirst trap. And so we all did that to our comics. We all made our comics thirst traps, and this became a fad on the site, and it was noted, and people would deliberately not do that as well as a reaction against, oh, people are doing this thirst trap stuff. This is really in poor taste. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to show my character's face or whatever. So, yeah, we had that on both sides of the fence. It was really interesting. And it does work. But, of course, it wasn't just, the thirst trap that was attracting people to the comic. It was actually the actual content. So you have to back it up if you're going to do a thirst trap, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Craving Control started that fad on Drunkduck.
I also think that if you do a thirst trap, it has to deliver in the sense that if you promise boobs, there have to be some boobs. Because then people get frustrated because they clicked on the comic for the boobs. They probably will stay for the story if your story is good, but it has to have some boobs there.
Some boobs.
At least that's how I feel, because I feel otherwise you would be a little bit like disingenuous, like clickbaity, rather than thirst trappy.
Oh yeah, and that did happen. That certainly happened.
I wonder how well it works overall with a comic that's like a quality comic that uses a deceptive, like a thirst trap thumbnail or to pull people in, but their comic has nothing to do with that kind of subject matter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super.
Are you going to just attract the wrong audience who will leave, and the right audience will never find you? Or?
Like, imagine if like for Without Moonlight, the thumbnail I had was from that single panel, from that single page where there are boobs.
Yeah. It would work. I swear to you, it would work. People will go through the entire comic and just think about that part of the
which would be super annoying to me. I would hate
it'd be attracting the wrong audience. But it's super common in comics. It's common everywhere. I mean, it's common in like news clickbait for a start, but comics, it's been common for as long as comics have been around almost. Like we've got Witchblade, which was definitely massive thirst trap comic. What was that one? Red Sonja. Sonja. Massive thirst trap. Chainmail boob. Vampirella. The queen of thirst traps, because they had absolute pros doing the cover that would never, that artwork would never be reflected inside the comic. The art inside the comic was shit. And the covers are amazing. And you look at those covers and think, whoa, that's so sexy. You read it and you think, even the sexy panels aren't sexy because it's drawn so badly. So,
yeah. Promising something that's not delivered.
Yeah.
And then, take those big examples that you just mentioned. And I remember at a certain time, probably still the case, you go into a comic shop and there's just every rack is full of like sexy women. And it's all kind of the same. And
well, every rack is full of racks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. But just like so much of it, it's like you don't know, is anything like that in the comic? Maybe, but good chance not.
Yeah.
It's like old movie posters, like some of those B-movie posters.
Or the
Julie Strain. Anything with Julie Strain in it is a thirst trap.
Those old Pulp Fiction books with like that were
the bodice rippers.
What was that?
The bodice rippers, like ripping the bodice. That was
yeah. Or having a like semi-conscious, like scantily clad or like clothes torn off woman held by this very muscly, big-chested, Adonis of a guy, and there was nothing like that in the story. So.
Yeah, exactly. That would happen. Let's see that goes right down to pulp comics and pulp science fiction as well. So we have like all these like covers showing this great big robot automaton man taking away a winsome woman, some unconscious woman who's like scantily clad, or a big gorilla carrying off a woman, or an alien. There are so many. Like that was their stock in trade, and as you say, it would never be in the comic because these artists didn't know what the comic or the pulp fiction story was. They would just do these covers to get a sale, to get some money, and then say Hugo Gernsback, who was doing the famous Amazing Stories, I think, or one of those ones. He was the most famous guy behind them. He would just get people. He'd just pair a story with the cover, and he'd do that. Sometimes he would say, "Yeah, this is the cover. I want you to write something towards this cover." But rarely it would be the other way around. You'd rarely have the artist actually drawing a cover of a story. That happened a bit later. So yeah, that was a very, very popular thing back in the day.
I actually wouldn't mind that, like someone giving me a cover and telling me, write a book that matches this cover. That sounds really fun.
Happened, and it even happened later when it was like Frank Frazetta, the famous like artist, who, he did a bit of thirst trap stuff. He really did, and yeah, people would be told to do that, even in the 1970s. So yeah, that happened. I think one of the most famous artists was Margaret Brundage. So this was back in the 1920s, and this lady, she was also a writer. Pretty good writer too. And she had her husband was also a writer and an artist. But yeah, Margaret was super famous for doing these scantily clad women. Very vulnerable women. So yeah, she was the thirst trap. Oh, go on, please.
Oh, nothing.
So yeah, it has a long history. I mean, that's 20th century stuff. I'm sure of course it happened early. I'm not an expert on 19th century writers or 19th century cover or 19th century thirst trap stuff. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure, but yeah, in the 20th century, it was a very, very popular thing, and now, especially with our digital age, it's even more popular. It hasn't stopped. There's nothing that has even slowed it down. Soon everything will be a thirst trap.
It's rampant. Great.
So yeah, I mean, I've done it in my comics, most definitely. Like we were just looking at my thumbnails now, and I've got the Bottomless Waitress comic, which is all a thirst trap. But it does back itself up because
a lot.
Yeah, literally backs itself up into your face. Its thumbnail is a bum with the apron strings on it, and it's a great big bum image. And Pinky TA is Pinky showing her under cleavage. So yeah, they're both thirst traps. So I'm massively guilty of this cheap and tawdry technique.
I don't have any. I just saw my profile. It's all like faces, basically.
Well, there you go. You're more mature and
No, I just
less
don't have
devious.
it. If I had if my comic was like had boobsy ladies, I would
Poopsie
probably
lady.
would put like a cleavage there. I probably would have done that.
Like that. Put a cleavage.
Like even in Verdant, where I have a basically nude woman, I have not made her sexy in that way. Like I was impressed and happy. I didn't even get like a single comment of "Ooh, look at the butt," and I really like that. So yeah,
There you go. And
But, yeah.
Baines has definitely done it with Chatterbox, two sexy ladies. They're in their skin tight clothes. Kaiju Valentine, not really. I mean, no, that's more romantic. But you have done it with Chatterbox.
Yeah, even Chatterbox is kind of, they're fully clothed and it's sort of their mid shots or
They are, but they're sexy bodies. You can't get away.
they're
from
shapely, they're shapely bodies, and the Kaiju Valentine has cute mini and typical Strange is harder to see, but you have sort of shapely Abigail holding a mop for some reason.
Actually, yes, you have a profile of Abigail with the famous boobs and bums pose, which is
that is pretty cheap. Yeah, it's true.
You've been found guilty.
But I like Bottomless Waitress. I feel like the comics do try to be that. They try to deliver on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of appeal.
It's not false advertising.
Tawdry necessarily, but right.
It
Exactly.
really isn't.
We don't do a vampirella on you.
Mm-mm. And the butt, exactly, I was about to say, and the butt is drawn in the same quality as the thumbnail. So.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. That's enhanced
That's another
a little
thing,
bit.
yes. Like if you get if I got a great artist to draw my thumbnails and then you click into the comic and it's like, wait a minute, this is like black and white scroll. Mine aren't black and white, but you see those examples with a very appealing thumbnail, and then you go to the comic, it's like, well, wait, this is just like stick figures. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yes, that's another thing. We call it bait and switch.
Yeah,
It's an American term.
The thirst trap, bait and switch trap.
That's. I mean, you know what? I would not call the thirst trap cheap if it delivers, but if it is a bait and switch, that is cheap.
Yeah. Agreed. You can't have fake stuff. We expect you to deliver, even if it's just one page.
Even then, that can be annoying. I have I have some other comics that don't have any of this stuff. I have my Rocks comic, just a gag comic with two rocks talking. If I had one panel with like a sexy lady and then I use that for the thumbnail, that I wouldn't feel good about that.
Yeah.
It's done all the time.
You could place the rocks together to make them look like a.
That thumbnail they do kind of, but I mean, I don't think many people would find that sexy. I don't think so.
You could do a whole series of that, Baines. You could have the two rocks together and a stick falls between them. Oh my god! A big log falls between them. Oh dear! Then you're attracting a different audience. But yeah.
And that's another thing. Like you do want an audience that will enjoy your story, so you should really advertise it as for what it is, because
Yes.
if I advertise it like it is hentai and it is like a grim dark war story where there isn't a boob inside and there is no sex,
True.
everyone click away. And the guys that would enjoy the people I mean that would enjoy it will not click there because they will think that I'm advertising a hentai.
Yep.
So
Exactly. So you won't get the horror fans that you.
You might get
really
some
want.
crossover, but it would be just a small. You'd be kind of ruining your own chances, kind of.
Yeah.
You might get some audience that way, but it would be happenstance.
exactly.
Yeah.
I did have, I remember, and I still remember it, and it still makes my skin crawl. I have like whenever it comes to mind, I vomit a little in my mouth. But,
God, that's funny.
but yeah, I remember in the first chapter, more or less, first chapter, yeah, of Without Moonlight, where I had like a lot of talk between DSS. There was this one user that posted very like like they were turned on by the uniform for a while,
Oh yeah.
and
Always that
I
crowd.
was and but not completely explicitly, so I couldn't really call them out because then they would easily say that it's like it's in your head. I didn't say that, but apparently they got frustrated enough at some point because it was all strategy and no sexy times, because I don't know what they had in mind. And they said, when is the sex going to start?
Oh my, really? Seriously?
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah.
I deleted that code.
Yeah.
I fortunately had the capacity to actually delete comments by then. So
Yeah, that's so
That's
takes
also a
everything.
bad first thing to say on a date as well.
yes.
Depends on what kind of date, yeah, but
Well, true.
Yeah,
oh dear.
even now, like, ew, yeah, okay.
They were
And
expecting
I still don't know what made them think that this comic was gonna go that way.
yeah, they were expecting Ilsa the she
Yeah.
wolf or something of the SS. Like the classic
Oh,
thing.
which is a thirst trap as well, I think, isn't it? I saw that movie.
I have never seen that.
It's not sexy at all. It's very disturbing, but they kind of. I thought they were selling sexiness. That's why I watched it.
Yeah, the promo is super sexy, but I just find it so freaking distasteful that I've never been
So
able to.
distasteful. Yeah, she's gorgeous, and I think it starts with a sort of a she's in the shower or something.
Oh,
And after, pretty disturbing and not. Yes, it's pretty.
You.
yeah, I don't know much about it, but I think that there was sequels to it where they did lean into the sexiness.
Okay, I haven't seen any sequels. Yeah.
It
Like, at
became
least-
Women in Prison.
Oh
Right.
no.
I think I honestly haven't seen them.
Me neither. I've only seen. I think it's Ilsa. I think I've seen Ilsa. I think we're talking about the same movie. But
Yeah.
the other movies in that genre I haven't seen. Sorry to interrupt.
For some reason,
No, I was trying to just, delete it.
yeah, even when I was like more into watching, sexy B movies, like the idea of Nazis and that was just
Yeah. No,
wrong to me.
No, I also had a phase where I was, really curious to see like, like not anything like really graphic, but sex exploitation, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
they're
natural.
Uh, and I did come across some of those covers, and I was like, who watches that? And I never clicked on any of those. So I don't know. But the thing is, they advertised. Okay, they had the swastika and stuff, but they also had like a pair of long legs and high boots and a butt
Yeah.
or something like that. I didn't have any of those. I still don't get it. I don't get it. I will never get it. Yeah.
It is a strange, it's a strange image.
Yeah, it is weird. It is so weird. I mean, I don't know. Maybe look, when I was a little kid, right, and we all played like back when I grew up in the early '80s, late '70s. Like we had World War II stuff all the time, and had the little plastic soldiers. And like I'll admit, like I found the Nazi uniforms cool when I was, like 8 years old or whatever. I was 8 years old, and I always wanted to be the Germans because back then I found the uniforms cool. But because of that, and then I sort of learned about the stuff and the uniforms and everything like that. Because of that, I've always associated that as just with uniforms and military and people. And I knew where the uniforms came from. That was actually a British invention. They were the ones who invented that style of uniform. And everybody wore that. The Germans were like the anachronistic people to wear that uniform because everyone else had already like grown out of it 20 years before. But for me, that uniform isn't a sexy thing. It's just clothes. It's just something that represents their authority. There's nothing about it is sexy to me at all.
Yeah.
And now obviously associated with the horrible things the Nazis did. So it can never sort of be a sexy thing. But yeah, so it's a different way of thinking.
No, I totally get that. Associations are super, super strong. I remember, and it's not clothes, but when I was, I remember when I was in junior high school, like the first grades, there came this kid in our school, and I remember the moment I laid eyes on him. He was the most like handsome boy I had ever seen. Gorgeous. Like I was, like if I was in an anime, I would have these like flower petals that fly suddenly, and the
Turn into a chibi character.
Yeah, and the breeze in my hair, all of that.
Yes. Your eyes would get super liquid and huge.
Yes, all of that, the nosebleed, everything. He was blonde, blue eyes, had very, very nice features. He looked very, very good. He was a royal a-hole, like the most deviant, malicious little bastard I have ever met.
Wow.
He to the point that he actually he probably had some kind of disorder, like defiant disorder or something like that.
Or a psychopath, maybe?
Could be. I mean, I would be convinced because he almost set fire to the school, to give you an idea. And he was very, like, he was a bully. He was generally a really nasty character. So within a week, he became, in my eyes, the ugliest person in the school. Like I saw him and I was actually repulsed. So there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Perception changes. Well, we were talking about that aspect in regards to our comic Key of Dreams, which is Thirst Trap Central. Which, yeah, you're going to get excited to see that one when it comes out. But, so we've got this character, this witch priestess, and she turns herself into a monster. But even though she's like this skull-faced, bloated, warty creature, she still has this era of like confident, forward sexuality.
Yeah.
Just because of the personality she projects. So it's about that personality and confidence rather than just the way someone looks.
And she has allure and charm, and she dominates everything. And it is the Thirst Trap Central because the whole story is about a guy that wants to make a booty call, basically. So yeah.
Very much so, yes. So he thinks he's a thirst trap.
Yes.
She's sort of putting that on its head and turning things completely around.
Yes.
In her own very, very clever way.
Thirst trap inception, like it's.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Because it's about dreams.
Oh my God! Yes, I said it as a joke, but you are right. You are right. Oh my God! Yes.
So yeah, that's what it is. It is thirst trap inception. We've even got Leonardo DiCaprio there. Oh no.
Yeah.
Thank God we haven't.
And a spinning
God,
top. I remember.
Oh yes, he used to be a thirst trap. Now he's
He used to be. Yeah.
a monster.
He's a monster?
He's
But
not
he's
a
no
monster.
longer a thirst trap.
He plays the bad guy. He plays the bad guys really well. Like I much respect. Well, I always respect, like irrelevant to what we're talking about, but I love actors that can play bad guys well and make me hate them.
He's just a very good actor all up, so he can play anything these days.
Yeah, exactly.
He's had the experience. But yeah, he's no longer the pretty boy from Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
Or Quick and the Dead, or What's Eating Gilbert Grape, or whatever he was in, I can't remember.
or the Titanic as well.
Oh, there you go. That was his classic thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Titanic. What was the other? I think it was About a Boy. Was that it?
I don't remember.
No. Oh, are you thinking of A Boy's Life?
This Boy's Life. There you go.
He's a bit young. That and Gilbert Grape, he's a little young to be a thirst trap for.
Yeah, that could be.
He's only a kid. I'm just remembering movie titles of when he was younger. Yeah, so The Quick and the Dead, Romeo and Juliet, and Titanic. Yeah, there you go.
Remember in This Boy's Life when Robert De Niro says, "Shut your pie hole"? He says this horrible stepfather. My friend and I would say that like for years after that. We'd constantly say it and couldn't stop saying it.
Did you laugh about forcing someone to eat a horse pucky?
What? Huh?
That was his key thing. He would go, and then I made him eat a horse pucky, ha 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 ha, to show how tough he was at the dinner table. He'd laugh at that.
Oh, okay, you remember it better than me. I just remember that one line.
Oh, a bit of reversal veins.
Yeah.
Normally, I cannot remember anything about anything. So yeah, there we go. This Boy's Life. Well, that's another actor, Robert De Niro, super handsome in Taxi Driver. If you look back at that film,
yeah, but
no longer anymore.
But he was also bonkers. Like, unless you find that attractive, I wouldn't call him a thirst trap there.
Oh, before he had the mohawk. After the mohawk, no. It's
Oh, you know what? Who I would call a thirst trap? I mean, he trapped me for sure back then. Nicolas Cage in that movie with Cher and
Moonstruck.
Right, Moonstruck. Yes, Moonstruck.
Oh.
He was really handsome there. I really enjoyed looking at him.
Yeah, he was quite a handsome guy in the start of his career before he went crazy.
Yes.
Actually, he was always crazy.
Then he became more awesome.
Yeah. Then he leaned into the crazy, and then you liked him for the crazy. I have always been like at least until I stopped really watching Western movies, like Hollywood movies, because I fell out of love with the cinema, I guess. But until then, I still enjoyed Nicolas Cage because he is insane. Like, absolutely.
He really is.
And I know I'm going to have a good time watching him be crazy. So.
Yes.
God. When I first liked Nicolas Cage, when I really thought, oh my god, this is an actor to watch, it was Raising Arizona.
I didn't like that movie.
Oh,
He was
I
really good there.
loved it.
Oh,
Loved it so much.
no.
That was well, it still is a favorite of mine. But yeah, Raising
Maybe I
Arizona.
should give it another chance. But when I went to see it, it was not for me. Like,
Definitely give it another chance.
I will eventually.
It's so comedic and silly. And
I do remember one scene where I laughed, but that was the only thing. So, with a woman trying to hang herself with her nylon stockings. That's the one.
oh, really? That's a strange. Well, we're veering away from thirst traps a bit. So, how do we reel it back into that's the topic?
What are thirst traps for you?
Just any standard thirst trap, because I'm just a very simple, generic person. So, cleavage and butts and all that kind of stuff, it all works on me. Easy. What about you guys?
Yeah, the same.
I can't pretend to be sophisticated.
The standard stuff.
Oh, you're
hey, get rich doing nothing. Whatever.
Get rich.
Primal part of the brain.
For me, it is a guy, like a handsome guy. I mean, mostly a guy with type. Doesn't necessarily need to be handsome, but they need to have type, like this confidence we were talking about, and this like suave, like confidence, filling the room sort of air, doing something that protects something else than themselves.
Oh, okay.
For
Like
me,
a fireman.
yeah, I guess so, but I mean, I wouldn't say no. But sure, yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
But not if they are posing in front of the fire truck, being super sexy. I would want to see them
Shirt off, holding a hose provocatively.
not
So
in the
you-
first, not initially. Like I have to be trapped.
Work up to that.
Yes, I have to first be trapped. Then I'm ready for the shirtless hose thing. So
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness me. That could have been phrased better.
I know I did it on purpose. I'm sorry.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, and I have been spoiled. I have to say, I have been spoiled a lot by like K dramas where you have this sort of trope a lot, and I absolutely love it. I love it. It like show me one scene like this, and I'm there. I'm gonna watch the entire thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And if you want the sort of pretty people factor, like, oh my gosh, Korean
It's not the pretty people because, I mean, it's not a problem if they are pretty, but I like it no matter what the face. If the person is confident, if the person is confident, they are doing it sort of altruistically in a sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If they are also pretty, that's a huge bonus. But I'll be fine with just a guy with like sexy shades or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, so look, some variations from the cleavage and what was it? Yeah, cleavage and butts and all that kind of stuff. Would be like a woman with a really kind of strong nose. So noses are a thing for me. I don't know why, but so the actor Claudia Black, who played Erin in Farscape, she has what is sort of would have been classically known as a Greek nose, which is this kind of aquiline thing. That's, oh my God, that's so kind of sexy to me. So that immediately attracts my attention, that profile. So yeah, that's a thing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what else?
Strong feelings.
I have to say that, I mean, usually they say like you have a type in the sense that, oh, I only need these parameters in order to like someone. I am not like that. If the combination is right, I might be surprised, but I will also be turned on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't have a type in the sense of must be this tall, this hair, this,
Oh yeah. If you don't match up to these
Yeah.
things, don't apply.
these stupid things. But I do have a thing for men that are exercised but not buff, if that makes sense.
Okay, fit.
Fit.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I don't like the whole like bulging everywhere.
Yeah, cut and
Usually.
steroids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, I say usually. I mean, I can't be surprised
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah, that's one of the things about being attracted to stuff. Like confidence can overcome anything. So
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
can make it irrelevant. And also at the time you can be attracted to anything, like the complete opposite of what your type is, just because of different
Exactly.
factors. So yeah.
Exactly.
True.
And I
I was
also,
thinking, yeah.
oh, sorry. The last thing
No.
I'm going to say, because I have to, I love a guy that is confident enough using a fan in public and making it graceful.
A fan.
Oh,
Yeah, a fan
Japanese
to
fan.
make any kind of fan. I don't care. Even an electric fan, if they can make it work.
Just to blow the hair out.
the giant oscillating fan he's carrying.
Okay, that would attract my attention, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Human helicopter. Oh God, that's
Yeah.
wrong. That's so wrong. Then we're going back
That
to the
is,
fireman there with the hose.
Yes.
Oh Jesus.
that was wrong.
Oh
but
Jesus.
that
Okay, but
I comment.
Baines, save us. What was your thing you were gonna say?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to agree with what you're saying and what Tans was saying earlier about, someone very attractive who you get to know them and they become less so. I think a lot of the not the exact opposite experience, but I've met people who are like, oh, just as a physical specimen, like, oh, they're okay, or even nondescript. But then you talk to them and you get to know them and you realize that, wow, they're really attractive actually. Just it changes so much.
And the opposite as well.
Perception. Yeah, the opposite, like Tans was saying. But yeah, I've had that plenty of times where like, oh, I wouldn't have noticed her before, but she's really appealing and attractive.
What's
based
that?
on
The old
knowing the person.
the librarian with the glasses. It's untied.
Oh my God, those makeover! Like, I'm taking off my glasses. I am now gorgeous.
Yes, and you have to untie the hair as well, Tom.
Yeah,
shake
no,
the
I'm not
head
doing that
sideways.
because it's no. It is too hot for that right now. Like,
Glasses are attractive. I should say that glasses are attractive.
Yeah, it's like, don't take off the librarian look is so hot. Don't reduce that and become generic. Stay like that.
That would be the trap. That would be the trap for me. Someone who doesn't even need glasses, like trickily or sneakily wearing glasses.
Yeah, putting the glasses on. Putting the glasses on and tying the hair back. Aha!
Putting them on, exactly.
Now she's sexy.
Tie the hair up.
Oh, I wouldn't notice her before, but oh wow. She's got the librarian look on there. Woohoo.
It's a nice look. I was with a girl I was crazy about who had that look a lot of the time.
Abigail.
Yeah, she wasn't as extreme as Abigail, and she didn't wear glasses all the time, my ex-girlfriend, but yeah, sometimes she wore glasses and sometimes she had her hair up. Yeah, maybe Abigail's based on her. I never thought of it. But yeah, it could be.
I've had the opposite plenty of times when someone is like, they're so my type and I find them so sexy. And then you're around them for a while and you think, oh my God, no, you just...
And then they open their mouth.
You've ruined that
say
look
something.
for me now.
For me, usually, I mean, the guy in high school that I talked about is the outlier. Never happened to me before again. But I have had like guys that I really liked the way that they were sitting, having a coffee or something like that, and then they open their mouth and they talk.
Then they open their mouth and it's an Australian accent. Oh my God, go!
I don't mind an Australian accent. I don't mind any accent, I'll be honest. As long as I can understand what you're saying, I'll be good.
Oh no, but the Australian accent can be really unsexy. Like if someone says, yeah, they like a handsome person, and they go, or a sexy woman, they go, yeah, g'day, mate. And oh my God. No.
I don't mind. I honestly don't mind. And I like the equivalent of that would be, I guess, a really hillbilly accent in Greek. And that is often a turn off with the ladies. I don't mind as long as as long as the content is not stupid. I don't care.
That said, like so for Canadian accents, we have like an extreme version is the Newfoundland accent, and I've been watching this TV series Republic of Doyle where all the actors have this Newfoundland accent, which is very Irish, very weird. But the sexiest men and the sexiest women, they've all got this accent, and it doesn't make them less sexy. It's cool. It's weird.
A usual thirst trap that I never understood is the accent or the language that you talk. Like if you speak French or if you speak Greek or Italian, everyone swoons immediately.
The French,
I don't get
that's a classic.
Yeah, I don't get it honestly, but it is being treated as like a super thirst trap, like everything. Like you can be
French accent
anything,
long as it's not a Quebec French accent, because that's not sexy. Or an English accent as long as it's an upper class English accent. Not a Geordie or something.
That's the one accent that puts me on the alert that I might be talking to a knob.
Wanker.
Yeah.
In real life, they're wankers, but in movies, they're this super sexy person with this high class accent.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
James Bond. Oh yes, take me now, Bond.
No, don't take me anywhere.
But and it was like classically sexy for the villain to have that classic English accent. This is my
that signals like
accent.
Yeah.
Yes, baby.
That often signaled that they were like suave and clever and
intelligent.
Yes, 2 steps ahead in the game.
I have all kinds of plans ready for you, baby. Well, they don't say baby because that's low class. That's it, madame,
my dear, or my dear. Yeah,
my dear. Let me take you away to my boudoir and do all kinds of things.
Is this a reverse thirst trap?
That is a thirst trap. Oh my God, what are your reverse thirst traps, real quick? For me, especially in Greek, but also in English, is if someone calls me baby.
Baby. Oh, yeah, baby is a bit infantile. What about babe? That's
even worse.
Really? Because that's normally a big difference for people. Babe is fine because that's generic kind of, it's like saying guy or hun or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know why it gets under my skin. Like immediately. Like,
Well, hun does that to me. Someone says hun. Like short for honey or honey.
oh, because my mind went to Attila.
Oh, yeah. But to me, it's like an old lady would use that term, so it's not sexy. So if someone uses it, it's like, you pretending? It's so weird.
That makes me think of a waitress in a diner. Speaking of,
Yeah,
Me too.
it does.
What in love? What will you have, love? That's exactly what I would
Yeah.
think of.
Yeah, it's that generic sort of commercial.
But especially, I don't know, baby and babe for me feels demeaning. Whether it is from a woman to a man or vice versa, complete turn off.
That's interesting, yeah. And I've never called you babe, so that's good.
No, you never have. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I would feel like that would be crossing lines if I did.
Yeah. See, you have nuance. You can understand things without being told.
I won't even do it as a joke.
I hope I haven't done it as a joke. I don't remember.
Yeah, like normally I would like go hard into that as a joke, and then I would just start babing around, just saying, yeah, babe. But
no,
it
don't do
feels
that.
too shit to do it. So yeah, it has to be genuine when you're using that kind of thing to someone who, it's appropriate to do that with.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
Hey, what about thirst traps where the kids are talking to someone online? They think it's a pretty girl, and they go to her house out in the middle of nowhere, and they've never spoken to her on the phone, never met her at a coffee shop or something. Just emails, photos, and texts. How dumb are these? I thought kids were supposed to be savvy with computers.
Are you talking about catfishing?
Catfishing.
Yeah.
And then the guy gets chased and he gets away because he lives to tell the story, luckily. But
sounds like To Catch a Predator to me.
I hear so many of those stories online, like allegedly true stories, and they're very believable. Where someone's, he's thirsty, he wants to be with the girl on this dating app.
Take a seat, Baines. Take a seat.
I barely know what these things even mean. But yeah, you hear the story.
That's what the guy says when he catches the bird.
Yeah.
No, this is like the opposite of that. Like, he's not a child. It's very interesting that your mind is there.
You know what?
Anyway.
Kids are supposed to be savvy. Kids are supposed to be savvy, but they are still kids. And that's why it's dangerous for them to be on the internet, because they are not gonna be savvy. I mean, even if they are the most street smart kid, it is so easy for an adult to manipulate a child.
Oh, it's easy for anyone to manipulate anyone, I can tell you. This Quackcast is going to end in under a minute. Oh my god!
Oh, yes.
Oh my god! So
we were trapped so well, we didn't notice the time.
Yeah. We've been thirst trapped. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye Quackcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.